welcome to the One-armed-reefer YouTube channel. My name's Lee, your host. This is my LPS dominated tank, which has just recently been featured on Parker's Reef. This is what has given me the boost to do this, to come online and share my experience and knowledge, and the stupid things I tend to do as an idiot reefer. Today's is top 5 of stupid things that even seasoned reefers like me, who's been in the hobby for 15 years in marine and 42 years in fresh water. We always forget stuff, and we also do stupid things. So here's the top 5 that I just come up with today after doing several stupid things and inspired by a slight accident I had last night. So let's go for number 5. Floating your corals. If you get a big colony like this, it's not a good idea to put it float it in your display tank. Normally most people put them in sumps, but if you've got a small reef or one of the all-in-one systems, it's a bit hard to do that because the sump is very small. My sump is located in a cellar, so I can't float corals in the sump, so I have to put them in the display. Unfortunately, by putting this coral in, it has crashed into 2 of my torches and killed them. This is all down to my own stupidity and not thinking forwards. If you look at the torch here and here, both in a pretty bad way. I've lost heads on them both. So that's number 5. When you're floating corals in your tank, think forward and think about what's going to be banging about. Because if you get a big coral that has a nasty sting, it's going to do some damage. So just be careful. I make these stupid mistakes, so you guys don't have to. Okay, number 4. Dipping corals. Now, there's going to be at least 1,000, 2,000 different versions of how to dip corals online. I aren't going to teach you how to suck eggs, but I'm going to give you a little bit of advice. Before you go to buy your corals, or when you have corals to get, have all your equipment ready. Keep it somewhere safe, so when you come back from the coral shop or your fish shop or anything, everything's there ready for you, so you're not having to search around and look for it and then thinking, oh, you know what, sorry, I can't be arsed, I'm not going to bother. If you have everything ready, it'll make it easier for you. The easier a job is, the more prone you are to do it. So I'm not going to show you how I dip corals. It's a pain in the arse with one hand, to be honest, and you don't really need to see me swearing and throwing stuff across the room because I lose my temper because I can't do it with one hand, but I do. Number 3, gloves. Always wear gloves. This has been brought up because of something that I did last night. I went down to one of my local aquatic stores, bought myself a beautiful golden Favia, and forgot to wash my hands after. Now, with me only having the use of this arm because this one is fecked, I have to be cautious to wash my hands because I can't put gloves on because I can't take the glove off. I can get them on but not off. I forgot to wash it and found out last night that Favias have a similar toxin to palytoxins. Last year I almost died due to not washing my hands after messing with pallies. Should learn my lesson, and then last night I did the exact same thing with Favia. Always wash your hands after you finish. Now, if you're going back and forth into your tank, keep your hands, don't wash them until you've finished doing what you're doing, because if you wash them with any of the new soaps, get that in your tank, it's going to cause you issues in your tank. Or, as I said earlier, wear gloves. Cheap gloves from any of the medical ones that you can get online off eBay or any other supplier like Amazon. They'll fine. You can get 100 in a box for like £5, and you know, every time you do it, new glove on. Protect yourself. There's some stuff in these tanks that is so deadly it'll kill us. I know people that have died. It's not fun, it's not funny, even though I do laugh about it a lot because I'm tendency of doing stupid stuff. As I said in the previous one, let me do the stupid stuff so you guys don't have to. Number 3, power. We all forget to turn things on and off, so when you're dipping corals and you start floating them, turn your ATO off because it's going to bring your water level up. Also, if you're dripping, drip acclimating fish, same again, turn your ATO off, and then when you're coming back to switch it back on, 1, don't forget to switch it back on, but 2, top up with salt water first. If you just turn your ATO off so it doesn't continuously fill with water while you're drip acclimating your fish, and then turn it back on again, you're just going to do exactly the same. So don't forget, to top it up with salt water prior. By my reckoning, that takes us to number 2. I may have cocked up because I have a tendency to go off on tangents. Apparently I have a slight attention disorder deficit. Anyway, number 2, placement of your corals. When we get new corals, we want to put them in a nice shiny place where we want, so, oh, I want to put it there, or I want to put it there. Before you do that, give it a couple of days to acclimatise. Leave it on sandbed or on a frag rack at a low level. Let it adjust to your system. It's come from a shop, it's been in low water. It depends what they run their lights at. If you've got it off a fellow reefer, do you know what their lights are set at? Do you know what lights they've got on? All these things are going to play a part into the coral doing well in your system. So just let it chill out, let it have a couple of days at a low level and start bringing it up. Because what happens is you cut your frag plug off, you glue it in place, 2 days, it's looking unhappy. So then you've got to pull it off and move it and put it somewhere else. Make sure it's happy in your system first before placing them where you really want them. And here we have number 1, and it is could be one of the most expensive mistakes you can make, depending on what your fish stock is. Whether it's expensive in the value mode or your love for the said fish. When you've been messing with your tank, always put your lid back on, because you can guarantee if you don't, that's the day that your daughter or your son's favourite Nemo is going to go jumping and then going carpet surfing. We all forget to do stuff. I always have a checklist because I get distracted terribly. I've got mild ADD and it tends to send me on tangents everywhere. So, 1, lids, power, gloves, acclimatise, and what other one?
Float.
And being careful where you float things. It's always handy to go to places like Wilco's and such like, or if you're in America, Harbour Freight, all the tool places, and get the plastic clamps that you get for pipes. Clamp the bag in one place and it can't float around and kill your torches like mine did. Hope you found this fun. Like and subscribe. If you didn't like it, never mind, not my problem, but all the best if you did. Good luck reefing. See you later.